In 2010, I had just graduated from Princeton with highest honors, signed my first lease on an apartment, and started my first job. Other than the occasional cold or flu, I'd never been sick before. After all, youth and health are supposed to go hand in hand. Disease was something that only happened to other people, older people. I certainly never expected to hear those 3 words, "You have cancer." I was just 22 years old.
I had dreams of becoming a foreign correspondent in the Middle East where I'd grown up as a kid. But the real world that I found was not exactly the one that I had been hoping for.
I had always thought of myself as someone who would help other people tell their stories. It had never occurred to me to write in the first person, or that that story might be my own. It occurred to me that in my own small way, I could try to travel to where the silence is and to give voice to a community of people that are too often voiceless, young adults with cancer. Although there was no way that my doctors were going to allow me to travel to any foreign revolutions, I could report from the front lines of my hospital bed on the revolution taking place inside of me. That's how I decided to create a simple WordPress blog online. And as soon as I started writing, the words came pouring out of me faster than my hands could type. Just 3 weeks after I started my blog, a journalism professor from college forwarded it to Tara Parker Pope, who's the founder and editor of the New York Times Well section. A few days later, I got a call from her asking me if I would be interested in writing a weekly column on the topic of young adults and cancer.
I write about my journey with cancer for the New York Times column, Life Interrupted. It's kind of like the movie Girl Interrupted, but instead of Angelina Jolie and Winona Ryder, it's just me talking about what it's like to have your life interrupted by cancer in your early 20s.
For me, getting cancer in my early 20s magnified the in-betweenness of early adulthood. For my friends, most of them recent college grads, this was an exciting time as they traveled the world, dated, went to parties, started new careers, and all the rest of the big and small milestones of early adulthood. In my life, cancer had forced me to hit the pause button on my life and on my career before it had really begun. At the same time, it forced me to grow up fast. Daunting questions that I hope none of my friends or my peers will have to consider for many, many more years became my urgent, everyday concerns.
I'm alive today because of a cancer community that cares and acts on its caring. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the incredible advances in medicine. That dream I had back in the bone marrow transplant unit of a future without cancer, has the possibility to become a reality. After almost 2 years of nonstop chemotherapy and a life-saving transplant, I can finally say that I am now cancer-free.
We all have life-interrupted moments, whether we're dealing with unemployment, getting over a breakup, or taking care of an elderly parent. And my life-interrupted moment happened to be cancer. But the important thing is not to focus on the interruption. It's to figure out how to cope with the interruption, how to grow beyond it, and how to use it as an opportunity for change and self-improvement.